Greetings and salutations, everybody. It's me, PLD, here with Lego, as always, for another episode of Review. This time, our second episode of what we're calling Review Adjacent. This is where we are going to be taking something from the V franchise, whether it be just an influence or a director, or in this case, an actor. Michael Ironside of V The Final Battle fame was one of the stars of Watchers in 1988. So we decided, because of that and the fact that Mark Singer stars in Watchers 2, it'd be a good 1-2 punch for us to try to tackle and talk to you about. And yeah, Lego, how are you doing today, my friend?
I am doing well. Maybe had a bit too much coffee, but I think that's a good thing, right?
I don't know what you're like without too much coffee. I feel like you without coffee might be dangerous to society. I don't know, though, because I haven't seen it.
No, I'd be in bed.
That's a good point. That's fair. That's actually,
It wouldn't be dangerous at all. I'd be hibernating.
Safer, maybe. I don't know. That's a good point. Oh, God, I could use some coffee, too. I'm a little tired tonight. But I am here. We are here. And I'm excited to be doing these review adjacent things. It's kind of fun to branch out of our V hive a little bit, and going into some old, I don't know, I was about to say old classics, but I'm not sure I can call this a classic.
Yeah, I don't think it's a classic. Just a film from 1988 that exists.
Does exist. I have a Mandela effect on this film, or a Mandela effect regarding to this film. I always thought that this was like a big film. It was a big blockbuster film, and it was, I mean, I guess it makes sense to me because like Corey Haim was big at this time. He was like Lost Boys, License to Drive. He was part of the Coreys, and they were big at this juncture. And Dean Koontz was always a name where, like, at worst, he was like the poor man's Stephen King as far as horror authors went, like as far as like popularity went and everything else. Big author, had a lot of books, had a lot of adaptations. So like that means it's got to be must have been a big movie, right? And I looked and I went, oh, so it made $900,000 at the box office. I can't actually find it to stream anywhere. I'm looking through like, oh, is it on Prime? Is it on no, it's nowhere. It is on YouTube because somebody uploaded it. I will say thank you to Corey Haim Central. Put a high def version up of it. I don't know how sure they got that, but good for them for putting it up. I will say we need to get a release of it just for.
So a lot of people. A lot of people, if the movie has only ever really gone to VHS or disc and has never been to streaming, especially if it was only on VHS, then a lot of people will just rip it and upload it to YouTube because there's no money being lost since those people, because typically it's like a studio or just like a person who made the movie and are in no way, shape, or form attempting to continue to profit from it.
Right.
And that a lot of times with like Screambox or Arrow or Vinegar Syndrome release it, then it gets removed from YouTube.
Gotcha. I kind of feel like this should have been released at some point by one of those companies. I feel like there must be some kind of a world where this has some kind of profitability.
So Watchers 2 is on Tubi, but I think 3 and 4 I watched on YouTube. And I have seen all of them. I mean, given this was back when I was in high school, so many eons ago, I've seen all of them on Sci-Fi a few times.
Watchers 2 is actually available on Prime. So when I looked up Watchers, I found Watchers 2 and didn't find Watchers. I'm like,
because I think with Prime, it's the same with Tubi, where you can kind of just upload it. So like it's like a different process in terms of like rights and licensing and stuff like that compared to like Netflix and Disney. I mean, obviously this wouldn't go to Disney, but like you see what I'm saying. But I think Netflix used to be a lot easier.
Right. It's fair. I guess it's just me learning new things every day. I'm so used to being able to get everything like from the 80s that were big enough. And like I said, just like kind of one of those things that I thought it was a bigger movie than it was. Like all the big movies usually get streaming somewhere because somebody's still like a schmuck like me will go find it and watch it. But I had to track it down. And
I mean, honestly, you'd be kind of surprised what movies like never. Every time we go to a different medium, there are films that are lost. So like I think most people know about like early silent films that are lost films, But there are so many movies that were released on VHS that never made it to any other medium. And
It's
the
kind
same.
of sad. Each time we go to a new medium, we are losing more and more. I mean,
But like I
as
said, a lot of people like rip them. So if you were to go to certain fees, you find most movies.
right.
It's really only the silent films, for the most part, that are really truly lost.
Right. That
And I've been reading up about that. Some of those stories are crazy. Like the Universal in 1948 intentionally burned and destroyed all of their backlog of silent films, like almost every single one. And I know somewhere Martin Scorsese sheds a tear every night knowing that happened.
Why would they do that?
Like, that was actually really common to destroy the film after, because so celluloid was a nitrate back then, which was very combustible. So it was dangerous to store as well as expensive to store. And they also had a silver backing to it, so they could extract some of the silver from it potentially. So it was just a cost saving. And then also, I don't think people realize this, but in the early days of like silent films, they were just looked at as a commercial product. Once it was released, it wasn't worth anything anymore. Wow. So they didn't look at it as important. So like when Fox Studio, they had a Vault Fire in 37 that destroyed almost all of their silent films. They didn't care. It's like, we have talkies now. Like, the silent ones are irrelevant. They don't matter. So like the Lon Chaney. What?
How short-sighted that is, though, in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, understandable in a way, I guess, in the time, the parlance. I'm sure we do sort of that today, not even thinking about it, but like just
like, you want to hear the craziest one?
Yeah, go ahead.
James Whale's 1931 Universal film Frankenstein. They wanted to re-release it post the production code, so they had to make some cuts. Dude cut the original negative and discarded the edited pieces.
Oh my God.
And the only reason we have them today is because there were prints that were distributed to overseas to Britain, and they had kept the print in an archive there.
Wow.
And then they just edited in. I don't remember there being like noticeable deterioration, because there are some movies, like if we put the scenes back in, there's going to be a noticeable level of difference in quality.
Right.
Because that's all we have. Like, even if you're a fan of like Friday the 13th, there are some of those where like, hey, we edited some of the cut scenes back in, but they look terrible.
Right.
Because like, it was so deteriorated. Because celluloid and nitrate deteriorates very fast, and the prints, every time you watch a print, it goes and gets worse looking. But even when they shifted to acetate in the 50s, triacetate also goes bad pretty quickly, which it's funny, like a fun fact for anyone who cares about this, which nobody cares about this. I'm just info dumping. But when triacetate, the as it begins to kind of deteriorate, I have pronounced that word really wrong. Like, I'm hear myself saying it incorrectly.
Acetate?
No, it's deteriorating.
Oh, deteriorate. No, you're pronouncing it right.
Okay.
You're stumbling over you're getting there. I hear the stumble. You're thinking, you're like second guessing yourself, but you are getting there.
But you know what I'm saying. It starts to degrade. It releases a chemical odor that smells like vinegar, and that's where we get the term vinegar syndrome, which is what the company is named after.
Oh, wow. Okay. I did not know that. See, you're teaching me things too. Only thing I have to add is, being a Doctor Who fan, I know we lost a bunch of old Doctor Who shows and episodes because they
there are lost
taping over them.
There are lost episodes of like Dark Shadows as well.
That's what BBC used to do. They just like used to reuse the tapes and things of that nature. And man, can't like I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, how are we so aware of that now? I guess it's because just amount of time has passed and we're seeing what we missed. Like back then, they didn't see what they're like. Oh, who cares? It's just a kid's sci-fi show or whatever. Who cares? But yeah, it is crazy nowadays. I do appreciate that there are a lot of people out there now who a lot of people uploading these YouTube things to YouTube and things are really just doing, the cinephiles work, even if it is a film like Watchers, even if it is that's judgmental aside. I mean, at least having the film to judge is better than not having it at all, for sure. So,
Yeah.
I've definitely seen worse films. So I'm glad I got a chance to watch this, finally sit down and watch it, because I hadn't seen it since way back. Again, when this first came out, I don't know if I saw it in the theaters or not, but I think I might have saw it on VHS later on. But yeah, so
I
let's.
definitely had a VHS of this as a kid, and absolutely loved it. And this was the first time, like that was literally the first movie that I noticed that it had said based on a book.
Oh, okay.
Because like I had watched it before I really knew how to read.
Mm.
So I'd watch, and then so it wasn't like the first time watching it. It was, I don't know, maybe like the fourth or fifth, where I was like, hold on a minute, because I'm that nerd that reads the credits. And then I asked to read the book, which is not the same copy I have now, but I don't know if you could tell like how worn the spine is. I've definitely read it a few times.
I see. I do see that. Yeah, he did have a lot of adaptations, and he was definitely a prolific author,
He
for
really doesn't
sure.
have many, actually.
Does he not have it? I thought he had. Oh, I know Stephen King has more, obviously, but I thought he had
I
quite a
mean, way,
few
but
too.
he has Odd Thomas. This there's an adaptation of his version of Frankenstein. Um Arguably Funhouse, but technically not.
He's an intent.
Um,
Wasn't intense what he has?
the Hideout, or the one, I can picture the people in it. I
Hideaway.
can't.
Hideaway. I'm
Hideaway.
thinking of
Yes.
Hideaway.
And I think there's like
Intensity.
one, is a
Black
few.
River.
There's really just not that many, especially compared to how many
Phantoms,
books
of
he's written.
course. Phantoms, of
Yes.
course.
Yes, yes,
Because
yes.
Bob. We all know that Ben Affleck is the bomb in Phantoms, um, as they say. Um, okay, before we get into it, I did want to point out we had a viewer, Dr. Sputnik, who watches us. It's Dr. Sputnik Project 631. He watches us pretty religiously, and he left a comment on our channel, on our show today, or on one of the review occupation and things. And he brought something interesting, because he actually listened to the interviews that I didn't get a chance to. I still haven't got a chance yet. So the update he said, just to confirm a couple of things. He said, well, this certainly was something. Talk about occupation now. My first thought was, what, no Diana? Quite a brave choice not to use the character in this set. Elwyn is traditionally a Welsh name, while Brennan is Irish. As a Brit myself, I have no idea what accent region they were aiming for. It was very distracting, as was trying to differentiate between Julie and Kathleen. John Culshaw played Willie. He's a famous comedian and impressionist, best known for the long-running Dead Ringers radio series, and he also is currently the Brigadier on Big Finish's third Doctor Who adventures. That's something that I would look forward to listening to. But the more interesting things, they did say that it is still under guidance from Kenneth Johnson, who, according to the behind-the-scenes interview, actually wrote the sequence. Donovan and Willie were speaking Somali to each other. Like Willie and Donovan has that kind of back and forth on it. That supposedly was actually Kenneth Johnson written, which is interesting. And finally, the interview stated that the cliffhanger will be resolved in the next set of episodes. So I guess as a clarification, that there is at least one more box set coming.
Boo.
Well, you know what, though? That makes me happy that, like, if you were to end it like that, if that they knew another set was definitely coming, then it's not really an ending per se. So I don't mind an ending in the middle like that, as long as we're going to get something that makes sense later on. Putting it all together.
I don't like it in this format, though. I don't know. I guess I'm just like used to. Well, I guess it. No. I'm wrong. I'm being judgy. I'm wrong.
Okay. That's something we don't really hear on YouTube very much, when somebody says that they say they're wrong. So I'm proud
I'm
of you.
honest.
You're being honest. That's great. I don't know how wrong you necessarily are, but I understand. Again, I
I
understand
was thinking
the thing.
like you. I do think they were spinning their wheels a bit.
Yeah.
It felt kind of like it's like when you're watching you like a horror movie, or there's a horror movie come out, but they announce a trilogy. The second one always sucks because they're just spinning their wheels to get to the
Right.
last entry.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a trilogy announced where I'm like, I like the second entry in this.
I guess Star Wars doesnn't count, really, because that
I
would
said
not have been
horror.
one.
I said horror.
Oh, okay, horror. Okay, you specifically are talking horror. Okay, I might have
No, I
missed
said
that. Okay.
horror.
Well, I'm trying to think how many horror trilogies have been announced.
Okay, I'm just saying the second one hasn't come out yet, but if you saw Strangers Chapter 1, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You feel me. You
I can't
feel
believe
me.
it. I can't believe they announced that as a trilogy. Like,
Listen, I understand. Oh, the second one hasn't come out, and I know Mike Flanagan's doing it, but if you've seen Exorcist Believer,
oh
you
yeah,
feel me. Okay, I do find myself saying Evil Dies Tonight a lot because it's fun to say, but that movie, you cannot argue, was spinning its wheels. It was like we need to get to another movie.
I'm going to refrain from this conversation because
Really?
we are going to have to. I feel like that would take up the rest of the episode potentially.
You don't think it was kind of like tra la 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 buying time.
I won't
Okay.
deny it completely, but and
Ah,
honestly, I do feel it's my favorite film of the new trilogy. So,
but the over reliance on
but
the trilogy thing does typically feel like a cash grab.
that I agree. I was
But
talking about
then
originally
I
the
pulled
Stranger
back.
stuff. Go on, but go ahead, I'm sorry about it. Go ahead. Say what you're saying.
Oh, I was gonna say, but then I pulled back and I'm like, you know what? Make that money. And that's where I felt like I was wrong. Make that money.
That's fair. There you go. There you go. I just did want to say the Strangers thing. Like, I liked the original Strangers movie when it came out. That was fine. It was kind of fun slasher. I was like, I don't know what about that concept screamed like we're gonna have Rennie Harlan make a trilogy out of this thing now. That just feels like
Oh, but
way
have you seen
expensive.
Strangers Pray at Night?
I did.
I love that movie.
It
I
was
think it's so
fine.
much
It's
better than
good.
The Strangers. Or well, I like
Really,
it so much better than The Strangers. I
I kind
liked
of
it because it's so fun. It feels like an 80s horror movie. It felt very stylized. The soundtrack was so good. Like that movie is like
okay.
the definition of a vibe. It's a fun time. I just want to recommend it to people. It's very
That's
important
fine.
to me.
I I put them up at the same level. I just think they're fine. They're both fine enough. I get what you're saying about this prayer night and whatever. I'm saying like looking at that and watching that and going, okay, Rennie Harlan trilogy. That does not scream that to me. It screams like we can make another one. Sure, we can make another one.
Mhm.
But so now it's like a trilogy. It's just like you're being pretty
But
ballsy. Now.
also,
That's a trilogy.
chapter one started off
I have
was
not
not
seen
the
it.
you what?
I have not seen the new one at all.
Oh, PLD. PLD.
Is that a good PLD or is that a okay? That's kind
It
of what I
is
thought.
so bafflingly bad. Like you're watching this and you're like, I'm supposed to want these two to live because I don't. Like, what are their names? Pinup or whatever. Sackhead. I don't remember their names.
Right, I don't remember any either.
Pinup girl, just kill them. I'm on your side.
Oh, fair enough.
I hope you
Fair enough.
find Tamara, whatever. Like, I think if they do like a prequel and like this one's about Tamara,
Right.
what are we doing? Why are we not doing that?
That's a good point. That's a good point. That actually, you do pitch very well, I will say. You've always
Oh,
pitched
I'm great
very
with
well.
pitching.
Can I ask
I
you? You
pitched
brought up really
softball for
quick.
years.
I didn't even know that. How did I not know that? Nice.
Well, PLD, I'm I mean, not for nothing, but I am one of those gay people. Of course, I play softball. Come on, it's the
Fair.
literal law.
That's absolutely true. I did forget that. My
I'm a
mistake.
rule follower, if nothing else.
Iconic. Iconic. You actually brought something on quite a good question real quick. You brought up The Exorcist and Mike Flanagan. Isn't that supposed to be a new, not to do with the most recent one? I thought like
Oh,
they
I
were
didn't hear
doing.
that. I thought it was still going to be. I thought he was doing like part 2 of a trilogy, kind of like what he
I
did
think
with
he's doing
where
it,
he's like he came in, and he said, "Ouija, Ouija, Ouija, stand down, girl. I'll take over."
which was great.
Well, what is
I
it called?
liked his second film.
Prequel.
His film was. I thought his Ouija film was great because I watched the Ouija one. I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible. Ouija 2 was great. Mike Flanagan directed it. No, but if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, so maybe you're telling me something differently. I think Mike Flanagan was doing his own Exorcist thing. Like the Exorcist movie came out, shit the bed, and they went, yeah, we're just gonna like bye David Gordon Green, hello Mike Flanagan, do what you need to do and do what you want to do.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
So
I had heard that he was doing a sequel.
I'll have to find it out because I'm hoping I have that another Exorcist, that Exorcist film, the one that just came out, the one that came out recently, prior to Flanagan's involvement. I have not seen that because I heard how bad it was. Which I've seen The Exorcist 2, The Heretics, so it can't be that bad.
Okay, Wikipedia says it's standalone.
Okay, that makes sense to me. That makes more sense to me. So I don't have to see that new one then.
Looks like that would be the case.
I mean, I might see it anyway because I usually give all the films a chance eventually. But if I happen to, if Mike Flanagan's movie comes out and I haven't seen that Exorcist yet, I might not have seen it at that point. So, but
like, how standalone are they talking?
Like, that's a good question. Yeah,
like, I mean, so I look at the Exorcist, like the trilogy, to be Blatty's Faith trilogy. So that's The Exorcist, The Ninth Configuration, and Legion. Because I like those movies the best.
That's fair.
So I go that way. But if you're doing that, I mean, they're not standalone. They do reference back to one another, but you could totally watch them on their own. Like, I don't know if you do. I mean, I don't know if you can watch Legion without watching The Exorcist, but it doesn't. It's such a different sequel, if that makes sense. Like, it's such a different story.
Right. Yeah, I forgot that. Like, I always forget about Ninth Configuration because that's not actually like. Is it the same universe or is it just like its own? Like, it's just
it's the same universe. So the part when in The Exorcist when Reagan comes downstairs and she says you're gonna die up there. So she's talking to an astronaut,
right?
And she says you're gonna die up there because he's going to the moon. So he's one of the main characters in Ninth Configuration.
Okay.
And he didn't end up going to the moon. He had a breakdown, and it's him in an institution.
Oh, okay. That's right. I don't think I actually ever saw the Ninth Configuration, and I forgot all about it.
Good, but it's like good? It's weird.
That's fair.
It's starring Stacy Keach and
I like
and one of the main guys from St. Elsewhere.
Okay, fair enough. Oh,
I'm like, his name is not Ed Flanders, but that's the name that's going on up here. I'm like, that can't be right.
It's Ed Flanders. Ed Flanders. Not Ned Flanders.
Like that.
It's Ed Flanders. That's who it is. Actually, I looked it up now. Yeah, I see that Ed Flanders is in it. Also, Robert Loggia. I love that. And Tom Atkins is in it.
There's a very young Tom Atkins. Yeah, a lot of big actors. Joe Spinelli.
Okay, Joe Spinelli. Okay, sure. I'll have to take a look at that when I get a chance for sure. I'm gonna have to rewatch The Exorcist first to do it. I want to get it. I don't
think you need to rewatch it.
No. Okay.
Like, you just like know that scene where she says you're gonna die up there, and that's really all you need to know.
Do you like Exorcist 3?
Legion?
Yeah. Is it?
So he wanted to just call it Legion, and they made him call it Exorcist 3. It's one of those.
Right. Correct. That's what I thought.
It's been a while since I watched it, and I kind of conflate the different cuts. But yeah, I do really like it. I think it's a great movie, especially what is his name? Child's Play, Chucky.
Oh, oh my God, it's one of my favorite actors. He's actually one of my favorite actors.
Brad Dourif. Brad
Dourif's
love Brad Dourif. Performance is so good.
Top-notch. So good. Oh, I love him in that.
Please excuse me. I'm a little bit insane. He's so good.
Brad Dourif is completely underrated. I think he's just like he's like known for Chucky. He does a great job at Chucky, but like you put him in any role, he is one of those actors that will just make your movie better. Doesn't matter what role he's in. He's just automatically makes the movie better.
1,000%. Like,
he's my favorite part of the zombie Halloweens. Actually, I think he's a wonderful job in that movie. You could like or hate those movies, but he's wonderful in that.
The decision to make him the sheriff Brackett was so good.
So good.
Billy Bibbit in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is one of the only characters that will bring me to tears. I remember watching it the first time. I sobbed. I was like, this movie's so unfair.
It is. That is a beautiful movie. He's
him in the opening of Urban Legend,
Mississippi Burning. He is like the best part about Alien Resurrection, as far as I'm concerned, which I'm not even a fan of that film, but he's the best part of it. Obviously, I didn't even touch Lord of the Rings. He's good and he's great. Grima Wormtongue. He's like
Dude,
dirty
Grima
and filthy,
Wormtongue.
and like it's so good. Yeah, I love Brad Dourif. I love me some Brad Dourif,
I
and he's
hope
even in a movie that I absolutely like. I will say, don't watch it because you don't want to watch it. Trust me, you don't want to watch it. It's not a good film. It's called Touching Home, and it's the weirdest story. It's two brothers, Logan and Noah Miller, who were like aspiring Major League Baseball players, and they didn't make it, and they decided to make an autobiography about their life story. It was like it's just a weird like how did this
I'm
movie
hearing
actually
Bloodsport.
happen? I wish it was that good, but yet somehow I don't know how they did it. They get Ed Harris to play their father, and they get Brad Dourif to play their uncle. Like, and so Ed Harris and Brad Dourif is like I think he's mentally he's I don't know, he's definitely got some kind of disability or whatever. But Ed Harris is like the alcoholic father. He's like you got those two actors. You got Robert Forster in it as well. It's like this is like great actors do. I don't know how they got blackmailed to doing this movie by these kids, but I just love that. I just love the idea that my boy Ed Harris and Brad Dourif got to be like brothers in a movie. That's phenomenal to me. But anyway, I'm going way off topic now. We should bring it back. We should bring it back to.
We haven't even started talking about the movie.
I know. Thank you, Dr. Puckneck, for watching us, and thank you for your comments. I thought I should put those comments out there to kind of essentially where we were for our last time, and obviously there'll be at least one more Big Finish V to get into at some point, probably. I'm going to guess next year or something like that. We'll see. Hopefully they can.
I'm gonna have to rewatch our episodes to remember what they were about.
That's not too. That's not. I'll make you read a recap or something. I hope it's closer to the first one. The first one I actually like better than the second one. So maybe it'll be now you got them all coming together. Maybe it'll be more sensical at that point. Maybe it's less spinning the wheels, like you said. So going on to a stronger finish, but we'll see. Even if Donovan's mother is not Donovan's mother anymore. Still baffling. Anyway.
Well, you want to talk about changes for an adaptation. This film, 1988 film, was originally written by a gentleman whose name I don't remember, and I did not write down.
Bill Fried and Damian Lee wrote the screenplay.
Oh, I was going to say, because that's not his actual name, Fried.
Okay.
That is the pseudonym that he had because he wanted his name removed from it. There was a WGA strike, so they moved production to Canada so that, because, you know, Canada has different unions, so that they could have a Canadian writer write it, and that would be Damian, whose last name I don't recall.
Damian Lee?
Yes. So he ended up writing it, and the original guy thought it was so bad, he wanted his name taken off, and he put a pseudonym on.
I honestly don't really blame him, because I'll say spoiler, we're going to get into the actual nuts and bolts of the film. This feels like a TV movie. This feels like a bullet point movie, like they call it. Like it's like we have the bullet points, and we're just going to throw them on film, and they'll connect close enough if you don't look too closely.
But some of the differences made are so baffling.
Talk to me about those. You read the book. I haven't. I did read that they did have differences. I know the only difference I remember off the top of my head was, I guess, in the film or the book rather, Corey Haim's part is actually like an ex-military older kind of person.
So Corey Haim is like 16 in this,
right?
16-year-old high school student. In the book, the character of Travis is a 36-year-old who was a member of the Delta Force, which is like a special anti-terrorist group.
Chuck Norris, baby.
And he's just like a really depressed guy who, like, his whole family had died. His military unit had been killed in a mission. He was the sole survivor. He's recently widowed, so he's incredibly isolated and depressed. But what's most important is he's very well to do. That's the thing about the book. Everyone's very wealthy. It's a little annoying.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So we're not talking about class struggle in this.
And
Okay.
then Nora is his love interest, not his mother. Which is like a weird choice.
And more interesting about that, I got to throw it in there, is that Barbara Williams and Corey Haim would later on, in a couple of years, do a movie in which they were love interests.
Yeah. Yep. That too.
Whatever.
You know, I don't think that happens very often because it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a little strange, and that shows you Barbara Williams can play both younger and older, I guess. I don't know how it works out that way.
I suppose. Very odd indeed.
That's Oh What a Night is the film that they played love interests together, I guess. Okay, so go ahead.
So Corey Haim in the film has a girlfriend, Tracy. In the book, Tracy is like an unrelated 13-year-old girl who's attacked by the outsider. She and her entire family all live. The I don't know why they called it the NSO in the movie. The NSO.
Yeah, I don't know what that's
the
for.
National Statistics Organization. I don't know what it's supposed to be. But it is the NSA in the book. But the NSA is like really wrong. This is like not what the NSA is responsible for. It would be the FBI. So I don't know why.
Right.
So both of them, movie and the book, are wrong.
Okay, fair.
But anyway, government comes to talk to them, but they don't like abduct them and they don't kill anyone. They honestly just talk to them and then go.
So the governments are not necessarily the bad guys in the book, is that what you're saying?
No. And also, okay, so Michael Ironside plays the character Lem Johnson.
Right.
In the book, Lem Johnson is a black man. In Cliff, I think his partner Cliff, I believe, is also a black man. So it's almost like, can we not have two black men in a movie together? It's giving not another teen movie. It's wild, baffling. And then also the sheriff, Walt, Glenn and Walt are best friends and have been friends for quite a long time. So he definitely doesn't kill Walt.
Okay, fair. Okay.
That is not what happens. Also, there's no third experiment. He's not the third experiment. So the character that Michael Ironside is playing is almost a 1v1, an entirely different character called Vince Nasco, who's an assassin working for, I guess, Russia.
I think so, yeah. I couldn't.
But his character is so pointless. He does not need to be in this damn book. And he takes up so much space. So I get eliminating him. But I don't know why you make him and like combine him and Lem. Like, again, it's just not like you could just have the FBI looking for the dog after so the dog in the book is Einstein, but they do call him Furface a lot. So I can understand just calling him Furface.
Right.
The dog had two names in the book. So Furface is a golden retriever played by Sandy the dog and is absolutely adorable. And a very, very good doggy. And as all doggies are. And it is a lab experiment that was created by the company Banadyne. Well, they have a military contract with the Pentagon. And the dog is made ultra smart. So this is 1-to-1. This is exactly how it happens in the book and the movie. The book gets so stupid. A massive part of this plot is dedicated to the dog getting distemper. Because so when Travis finds the dog, he thinks he should go and get the dog like its shots. But the dog, being intelligent, is like, no, they'll recognize me. I'm a fugitive. Get cool. Be cool.
Is that how he talks too?
So they use Scrabble pieces to communicate with the dog, which I think was better, but I understand in the movie there are limitations to like what they could actually get the dog to do. So that's fine. Yeah. Like you'd have to, I don't know how you would do that. Maybe like scent the pieces with something the dog would like, but then the dog would chew them. Yeah. So I just don't see that being a viable option in the film. So that's fine. Like you don't need to do the Scrabble pieces. That's something that works better in a book. Right. But so they end up not getting the dog the shots, and then the dog gets distemper, and I'm just sitting here 100%. This lab dog was vaccinated for fucking distemper, and parvo, and rabies.
Yeah, before they started working out. Yeah, absolutely.
What
That
are
makes
we
total sense.
doing? Like, it's
That's
so
that.
stupid. The dog absolutely has its shots. Ridiculous. They were working on different experiments. So that was one. And this is the first, like, he's the first successful time that they were able to get a hyper intelligent dog.
Right.
And then as a side project within the same compound, they created the other. In the book, it's just referred to as the other. In the film, they refer to it as Oxcom 7.
Outside experimental combat mammal.
Yeah. Oh, with an M. I was saying it
Yeah.
wrong. And it's in the book, again, is the first time they successfully did it. What do you think it is?
I don't know because they don't show. We barely show it. It looks like honestly, it looks like a werewolf kind of
Have
monster.
you seen
Like
the Cellar Dweller?
yes, that's what it kind of. Yes, that is it? Oh yes,
It looks
I
so
didn't
much like
think
the
about that.
Cellar Dweller.
That is
But,
that is exactly right.
they were mixing DNA,
Uh,
and its basis is a baboon that was enlarged. And then they
okay,
included, like, jackal and other and human DNA as well. It's about the same intelligence level as the dog, and they
right,
do have a psychic or, like, telepathic link to one another, so they can sense where each other are and stuff like that. And they don't know why, but the Oxcom, like, hates the dog and just wants it dead. And that's very similar to the book, and it
right.
rips people's eyes out, because I don't
Yeah,
really like this
no,
justification, but, in the book, it rips eyes out because it thinks it's very ugly, and it doesn't want
right,
people to see it.
right. Which doesn't really make a lot of sense in that terms. I mean, like it feels like
I
it
mean,
doesn't.
that comes from such a level of socialization
That's what I mean.
that
Like,
it just
yeah,
wouldn't
so
have.
right, because more of an instinctual creature anyway. So like
I
ugly,
wanna say in one of the sequels, they show I wanna say it's the 3rd one, they show the dog in the lab, getting, like, petted, everybody loves the dog, they give the doggy a teddy bear, and then it's kind of, like, lonely and in a cage, and the dog gets to wander around, so there's, like, a level of envy and stuff like that, and
right?
I think at the end of the movie, I remembered it being it's been a while since I watched it. I remember that being this movie, and I was really surprised. I'm like, "Where are these scenes that I actively remember?" But I guess it's just in a different one, and it, like, takes the teddy bear. And now I'm, like, worried now that I'm saying this, maybe that's not even one of the sequels. Maybe it's entirely different. The teddy bear thing might be entirely different, but they definitely do show the laboratory scene with the dog and it being treated well. That absolutely happens in the 3rd or 4th one. I can't remember which is
Okay.
which.
Well, that actually
But I
actually makes more sense than just like
yeah.
being ugly or whatever. Although I will say that's what I mean about bullet point movie. Like it just seems like it doesn't matter. Like we don't care why the Oxcom wants to kill a dog. It's just like they're just throwing it out there. Okay, Oxcom's created, dog is created. Oxcom wants to kill the dog. Like we don't need to know why. I mean, I think we do
Yeah.
need to know why. It makes it better for a film, and in general, I think overall could be better to have an explanation or like something more. But the filmmakers are just basically presenting it as in like it doesn't matter. And that's
And
not saying
then
that can't be successful to doing it that way. Sometimes you let the viewer kind of create a little bit of the world themselves because sometimes the viewer likes that kind of interaction with the film. I've done that before myself, but it does kind of like also just at the same time feel like, well, or is it that, or are you being lazy with it? So it feels like they don't really. I mean, this whole film feels pretty lazy overall,
yeah,
honestly.
how did you feel about Michael Ironside being the 3rd experiment?
Um, well, first of all, I actually want to bring up the one reason that he might have made Michael Ironside's character Vince or whatever and not have two black men in there is that maybe I think Michael Ironside, outside of Corey Haim, Michael Ironside was probably the biggest name. So that's why you kind of give Michael Ironside the role potentially. I mean, Corey Haim was pretty big, but like everybody else was pretty not known. But Michael Ironside had like the Top Gun thing going, he had Total
Now,
Recall
I don't
going.
mean to be the asshole here,
Mhm,
but I'm asking this legitimately.
mhm.
Were there no black actors with names in 1988?
Michael Ironside's the one that they could get interested in it potentially. I'm not saying
Okay.
I'm saying and it's potentially, but honestly, there were probably not as many black actors with names back in the day. I honestly think that probably is part of it. I think he's like, well, they see 2 black guys in there, and they're like, well, we can get Michael Ironside, who has a name, especially in genre movies, also Scanners and everything else. He got this. That's a genre name. We can get him in the movie. We could make him Vince, but Vince isn't important, so we'll make Vince be the lead guy, and that's probably how it went down. I think it was probably less overtly racist and more just kind of like I don't think it was like we can't have 2 black guys on screen. It's more like, well, we can have 2 black guys on screen, or we could have Michael Ironside, who genre fans know and enjoy, kind of thing.
Okay.
I think that was probably more of the.
I mean, I guess at least they kept Cliff, who,
Right.
by the way, that actor. You want to guess what he was in?
He I kept saying to myself, like, I know him from somewhere, and I couldn't picture exactly where. I was like, no, it's not. He's like the poor man's Keith David, or no? That's what I kept saying. Like the poor man's Keith David.
He's in the pilot episode of 21 Jump Street. Yeah, right. Think I was going to forget my 21 Jump Street dedication? No, I'm not forgetting. What are we talking about here, man?
I kind of feel like we're gonna have to cover 21 Jump Street at some point, like just like even like the pilot episode or something like that potentially.
I love 21 Jump Street so much. It's so good.
It is. Hey, I can't even say it's good because I can't remember it. Honestly, I saw it when it.
Listen, just listen to the theme song and tell me whether you like it or not. And I'll say, I watched 5 seasons for the theme song. Back when IMDb had a streaming service.
Did you actually watch the spinoff ever to the
Booker?
Richard Grieco? No, you never did. Okay, I'm just kind of curious. Did you like Booker, the character? Richard Grieco's character?
Fine. He was fine. Didn't love, didn't hate. He was fine. He had a lot of attitude. He's very angsty.
He was like the cheap version, the dime store knockoff version of David Caruso. What happened with David Caruso? Basically, he was like a guy who thought he was bigger than the show he was in. So we're going to make our break off and do our new thing. And he was going to be the new hit thing. Got his spinoff and crashed down to earth pretty quickly and did a lot of like direct to DVD movies after that.
I think I've seen him in one thing, and it was like the most random thing. Like some sci-fi movie. It wasn't Future War or Carnosaur, but something like that.
I mean, he's got a lot of like. You look at his IMDb or like whatever. He was actually in 22 Jump Street. I forgot that. The newer ones. He actually made an appearance in that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he did.
I remember that now. Yeah.
That I do recall.
Demolitionist, Inhumanoid, television film. That sounds like something you had watched. Well, it's part of Roger Corman Presents series on Showtime, so that says something.
Hey.
Bring it back here. Bring it back.
Oh, the guy who plays the sheriff. Well, I thought was Steve Railsback until he took his cap off. He looks so much like. I mean, I wasn't watching the best quality, and I'm like, "Is that Steve Railsback?" No.
Not quite.
No. Is it? Here's John Hess. The director also directed Alligator 2, The Mutation, which has Steve Railsback. Like, does he just really like working with Steve Railsback?
Maybe. Hey, maybe he's cheap. That's what I'm finding.
Well, because I was looking at it, I'm like, well, Steve Railsback, if you're unfamiliar, was in the pilot episode of Supernatural. I'm not embarrassed by this. And I was looking at him like, is that him? Nah. Is that him? Nah.
He does look. He does look.
It wasn't until he took the cap off. I'm like, definitely not him.
Definitely not.
However, when he's having that conversation with his deputy, she said the most out of pocket, lunatic thing I've ever heard someone say.
And what is that? Which one?
Okay, so the janitor is at the high school. The outsider is there attacking. He hears one of the teachers screaming as he's being murdered. He calls 911. Smart man. We like what this guy is doing. He's in survival mode and protecting those around him. The deputy, answers the phone. He's screaming. He gets that he's at the high school out, but then it's cut off. So she hangs up. Well, sheriff goes over and asks her what's up. Just someone at the high school called saying they were screaming. And Well, if it's important, he'll call back.
That's That's small town sheriff and deputy, I guess.
The worst thing is, like, every single Dean Koontz book takes place in Santa Barbara. This is not a small town. That's one of the reasons why as a kid, I liked it, because he wrote about areas that, like, I grew up and stuff. Like, I lived in Huntington Beach for a long time. That's where a lot of his books take place, in and around Orange County and Santa Barbara. So I'm like, bro, this is like, you live in one of the most, like, densely populated places. What is a joke? I'm not sure where the movie's supposed to take place. Maybe I missed it.
I might have missed it too. Honestly, it just felt like, that's why I said small towns. It just kind of felt
like
very,
Oregon or Washington.
yeah,
Northern
kind of like something
California.
around that kind of area for sure. You did
Like,
ask me a question. I will get back to it. I'm going to get back to it. Michael Ironside be the third experiment or whatever. Like, it's one of those things where when I first heard that, it's kind of like I had a instinctual, cool. Okay, that explains some things, and then I sat with it for like 30 seconds and went, yeah, it's just, but it makes a whole lot of less sense, as you
I
even
mean,
said.
he could just be part of the government killing
Why
people.
we do, like, it was like this whole, like,
You're overcomplicating.
that's what it was. It was an overcomplication. Like, I think I liked it because it showed also Ironside was getting unhinged, and I love me some unhinged Michael Ironside. So that was my reason. Oh, cool. Yes, he's unhinged. He's his own thing. But I was kind of like, yeah, but why are we bothering? Like, and would they let the third experiment hunt down the other two experiments? That, like, feels like you're effing up a whole lot more, and you're gonna just complicate things. And just, like, why bother? Like, because, and plus, what does he do that's so, like, he can kill without remorse? That's their big experiment. That's his. He's heartless.
Yeah, that's a wow.
Can't find those guys around.
Nope. We had to invent that manually with
Right.
intention. In the book, honestly, I was just skimming his part because it was kind of boring. But the Vince, he is an assassin, but he is kind of like insane. He believes that when he kills people, he gets their souls and it makes him stronger.
Oh. Oh, we got one of
And
those.
like, this does not need to be in here. Like,
No. No.
edit
I mean, I
out.
guess in a way, you think about it, the film combining those two characters actually makes for a better product overall, because you don't have to worry about, like, all that kind of stuff. You just have the unhinged part being put into the government guy. So you have, again, we get to see Michael Ironside being a little unhinged, which is fun seeing Michael Ironside. Michael Ironside in the 80s pretty much played
Yes,
the
like,
same
I thought,
character.
like, there are times where I'm like, I don't know if he's, like, intentionally looking mildly like he's like, in a moment of glee, but it seemed like it.
It
He
did.
seems kind of unhinged.
Pretty much, like, that's his basis. I feel like that's when you needed a character to do that in the 80s, you pretty much went for Michael Ironside. That was what you knew you were going to get, pretty much a good committed performance from him for sure. I will say, he is one of if this film has saving graces, that's one of them, because he does entertain me enough on screen at this point. Unfortunately, everything else is
Do
kind
you
of
wanna know what I think makes the movie worth watching?
the dog.
Yeah.
I know you very well. I know you very well.
That
I
dog
actually,
is so cute.
dog is very cute. I will
This
say it's kind of funny. I will throw it out there that I grew up. My mother used to, like. I heard that. I just found out my mother passed away like 10 years ago now. I think it is, or close, something close to that. But I just found out from my aunt that my mother had an incident with a dog when she was like 16, teenager wise, and she had like this box of chocolates. And suppose the dog that they were watching ever got into them and ate a lot of chocolate and everything else. I guess the dog was okay, but, like, traumatized my mother. And that explains so much, that, like, every time we had a dog, over, or I had a dog, she would be so stringent about, oh my God, that dog's gonna die if you give him too much chocolate. Don't let him have chocolate. Don't let him have chocolate. So it got, like, so stuck in my head that when I saw Corey Haim give this dog chocolate, I wanted to slap him.
I've never seen a dog get sick from chocolate.
I haven't either, but I
Like,
believe it's
I'm
because my
being
mom was so
told
intense in it. Right.
like, we've
Yes.
been told that this is a thing, and I believe
Right.
it, and I don't give my dog chocolate,
Right.
but, like, I've literally never seen I have seen dogs eat chocolate and nothing. But on the flip
My,
side, something that really is very toxic or could potentially be very toxic to dogs, grapes and raisins. Don't ever give your dog grapes or raisins.
I have heard that. I have heard that as well. I've not seen it. Again, I've not seen it because the reason why I haven't seen it is because I haven't done it. Um, and I believe my mom. My mom was always usually pretty smart on some things, but then again, she also believed for years that Ben Affleck was wearing a toupee, and for whatever reason, and I don't know why she believes that. It was just one of those things where she was adamant that Ben Affleck wore a toupee. Um,
Interesting.
so maybe I should believe her. I don't know. Either way. But yeah, that's the
Oh,
really the big part of the movie. Those are the two things:
okay.
the dog and the Michael
I
Ironside. And Corey Haim is Corey Haim.
Corey Haim is
Uh,
Corey Haim.
he's kind of charming-ish. Like he's a little bit like he's like kind of like annoying. I mean, I won't say he's annoying, but like he's like kind of like that. Like he's that teenager that like he's uppity. He's a little like you kind of want to slap him a little bit, but like he's charming enough.
So when he's walking to school,
Uh,
um, he's met with 3 friends on bicycles. Did you recognize any of them?
Mr. Jason Priestley. Yes, I did
I had
recognize him.
I had a the Leo moment.
I totally did. And I didn't like I actually couldn't picture who it was. I was like, who is that kid? That's that guy. And then it hit me. I went, also like the 90210 theme started playing in my head. I went, oh, that's when I did the Leo moment. 90210 with Jason freaking Priestley.
It's like there was a time before he was famous.
Right. I love catching those. When I
Insane.
catch those are great.
But it's so
It's
funny.
also
So
different. I want to say real quick, it's also different when you don't know he's in the movie. Sometimes you go looking for a young performer and they're first, like, oh, I want to see
yeah.
it. But when it happens, like in the wild, and you're not expecting it, and you're like, oh, that's always the greatest thing.
Yes, it is. It's so funny. It's like a Where's Waldo thing otherwise.
Right.
Looking for him.
Absolutely.
So this is I won't get on too much of a soapbox. The character of Ted Hockney.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the fuck they were doing with this. Okay. So there is a character called Ted Hockney in the book.
Okay.
I think he's like Travis's landlord who's murdered by the outsider and his body is left in his house. That's like it.
Okay.
But in the book, so Nora is a 30-year-old woman who lives alone. She had grown up living with her aunt who was, as described in the book, a bitter misandrist. And if you don't think when I read that, I wanted to chuck the book, you've never listened to me before. I was getting very frustrated at this part, and with the description of Nora, she wears a lot of grays and doesn't have her hair done. She's very drab. Oh, go fuck yourself, man. Jesus. And like she needs to have her TV repaired. This is back in the day when we had repairmen for appliances.
Right.
That was a very common thing. If you've never gotten to see a TV repairman fix a TV, like I feel very cool that I have seen that. It's cool to look and watch. This is back in ye olden times. But the repairman turns into a stalker who harasses her and breaks into her house and tries to assault her. It is not fun to read at all. It is deeply disturbing. That is absolutely the scariest part of this book, by far. And the dog there, she's at the park, and he shows up at the park, and Furface interrupts him after he's grabbed her. And then Travis comes up. He doesn't really know what's going on, but he kind of positions himself between them, and the stalker guy leaves. And then later, the dog is trying to get him to go back and like check on her. And he says, she's not my type. Like, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. You asshole. The way And then Travis, as I said, was a widow. So they
Right.
start to get to know each other. Nora and Travis start to get to know each other. And he decides to take her to his late wife's hairdresser. And he's then like take her shopping for new clothes. I'm like, I think, can you picture me reading this?
I can. I very much can.
It was
Not for
I'm
long, but
drinking my coffee and I'm like, I'm filled with rage. I was just dying. There's like so much in here. Oh my God, about like her needing to be rescued by a man and he helps her become more feminine and they get married after like a month. It's just so dumb. And then they go to Vegas and it becomes like this massive slut shaming thing and the way he likes describing like women's bodies, it's so gross. God, I absolutely hated it. I was not having fun with this at all. Yeah.
fair.
The fact that I was allowed to read this at 10 is also very shocking to me in hindsight.
That's how it used
But
to be. We used to read and watch things that we definitely shouldn't be reading and watching at a young age. And I think
yeah.
most horror fans did that. I think that's why. And no other genre quite matches that. I think when you're a kid, you watch like the Fridays, the Nightmares, no matter how old you are, and you're like, oh, it's your first. That was definitively my first experience with a woman's chest. It was a Friday the 13th movie. Not like anything else, not like a violence movie, not like that was the first time I've ever seen anything like that. But yet it felt like just normal stuff. The whole thing just felt normal to me. But I probably shouldn't have been watching it at all. I actually have this recollection of my aunt being harder on me than my mom and dad were. I don't know, maybe I just got away with it. Maybe they weren't paying attention to what I was watching. That could be the case. I don't know. Remember, I tried watching Friday the 13th, the series, with my aunt, because my aunt was babysitting me, and she turned it off Friday the 13th, the series, because it was
I
too
watched
bad.
that with my gram. My gram, bless her, I don't think it ever entered into that woman's mind that there's some things children shouldn't read or watch. Like, I just don't think that occurred to her. Because a lot of times I watched stuff with her. She was a Dean Koontz fan. She had read the book before I did. She gave it to me. Yeah, and I think a lot of stuff we watched was on TV. So it was like rated for TV. So
So you could watch it.
I just don't think it entered. I remember she sent me to bed with The Poltergeist, and that was the only movie that ever scared me. Like when the clown doll, it's a clown, it's a doll, and it's under the bed. That's 3 things.
That's over 3 right there. That's a big strikeout.
Too many things. I slept on a bunk bed. The way I sat up and screamed. That was the only time out of all these horror movies I've watched, and I watched at a young age. That was the only one that got me.
But did you love it? And that's brought you
Yes.
back? Yes, exactly. Because that was my experience with The Shining. The Shining was the only movie when I was younger that actually scared me. And I don't know if it was the little girls saying, play with me forever. I don't remember. I watched that at a really young age. And the ending when it zooms in on Jack Nicholson and like he was like reincarnated, like I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I like was so creeped out that I remember like getting the hair on my arms and everything else. And I was like, not that I had hair, but I was like goosebumps on my arm and everything else. And I like hated it and loved it at the same time. I hated it, but I had that like kind of like feeling, but I could not help but want to watch it again and again and watch any horror film that came to my under my purview. I must say real quick though about the Friday the 13th thing. That's the funniest thing is because like Friday the 13th, the series was never that bad, and it was on like I think was it on Fox or was it like maybe a cable TV? Maybe either way, it was far less offensive than Friday the 13th Part 5, for example. Like,
I mean, it's basically like the Crypt Keeper.
Right. So like when she like made me stop watching that when I was over her house, I'm kind of like, I remember being a kid, being like in my head going, what the fuck? What? That's too bad for me.
I think there was one singular time where I was watching something and someone like an adult walked in and I was watching with myself and my cousin. We're a year apart. We were in the living room with my uncle, and then another uncle walked in and he's like, what the fuck are you watching? And switched it off. I don't know what the name of the movie was. It literally looked like a snuff film. It was so violent and gory. It's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life. I didn't finish it. That's how I learned about menstrual cycles. It was traumatizing on a level I cannot fully convey. um, and he was right to turn it off. Neither of us children should have been watching it. In fact, my uncle at the time would have been younger than I am now. I would say I don't even think he was old enough to be watching it. When he probably would have been 25, maybe? Not
My
old
God.
enough.
My goodness. Okay, there we go. Back to the film then. Anything else that you want to say about
Oh,
the
I'm
film?
sorry. I was talking about Ted Hockney. Because I
There you go.
think
To
Ted
happen. Yes, thank
Hockney,
you.
it felt like they were trying to merge him with the stalker. And that felt very odd to me. Because before watching it, I remembered him being the stalker. The stalker's name's Art Streck. I remembered him being the stalker. I'm like, I can't believe that they made him her consensual partner. That's really weird. And then I was like, oh, they gave him Ted Hockney's name. Okay, I don't know if that's better. I mean, it's better, but I don't know if it's good. Should he even be in this? Does he need to be here? He doesn't.
No.
And what baffles me is like when she comes into the house later when they're looking for him and he's been she calls him by his last name, which okay, I go by my last name, but maybe I shouldn't question it, but it did feel odd to me.
Yeah, no, you probably. I'll say you probably shouldn't question because I think that's actually normal, especially in the '80s. So it was a very normal thing. A very normal thing.
Okay.
I know I used to be called by my last name all the time.
Although he does have the line, "Why don't women like sex as much as men?" And it was giving the book in a bad way. Read with derogatory.
That's fair. That's fair. So again, I kept coming back to the bullet point thing. I did feel like this film didn't really have like I don't know how long it was. It wasn't that long, obviously. It was like what 80,
like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. All right. Because it feels like they were stretching to get that far. Like it feels like there's like no real like set pieces. It was kind of like beginning, and then they're on the run, and then there's the hospital, or not the hospital, like the room, and then there's the ending camp sequence, and that was kind of like the big thing. The motel, that was the other thing. But it did seem like it's kind of like just like bullet points of like we just need to stretch out time between the beginning when the golden retriever gets out and meets Travis, and the ending battle between Michael Ironside, the Beast, and Corey Haim's characters. It feels like that was the whole thing. I didn't have a lot of meat in the sandwich after that.
This is not. Did I mention a large portion of the book is dedicated to a boring ass assassin and a dog getting distemper?
Right. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm.
And
you telling me that makes all the sense in the world now.
Travis and Nora dating. A large part is dedicated to Travis and Nora dating.
Oh, right. Oh, speaking of dating, Travis and his girlfriend. God, I hate disparaging young actresses, but she was so bloody awful. I did not like.
How could you tell? She was comatose.
It felt like I know, and I was glad when she was. Like
I
she felt like she was comatose when she was.
I have no opinion on this.
I felt like she was comatose when she was acting. But she was also Corey Haim's girlfriend at the time. Like it made sense. Like basically they were dating, and like he got her the role. That's what it feels like. Her name was Lala. That was the actress's name. It just the
Is
whole
that
thing.
why they said that in the credits? Because I saw Lala. I'm like, I thought it was a company.
That's what she went by. That was her name. Just Lala. I was like, okay, this whole thing. I just didn't like. I didn't think she was. I mean, granted, she wasn't in it very much. It is kind of a weird thing for me to jump on because she's not in it very much. But like, I just really didn't like her. I had a couple other notes I wanted to throw in there. Oh, the score of this film goes really hard. Like really
it's
hard.
So
I do like it, but I almost feel like it's almost too hard for this movie. It's like way too good for this movie.
It's like the dog is the score.
Right.
Corey and Michael Ironside.
Let's see that.
I feel like the dog should be counted twice.
The dog should count twice. Okay, I think Michael's better than that. At least I always smile when he's on.
You think Michael's better than the dog?
I think he's up there with the dog for me.
How dare you?
He's like my dog. I'd be like, I smile every time he's on the screen. I smile when they come on the screen. I smile. Unhinged Michael Ironside, I smile.
Sandy the dog is offended.
Well, Sandy can be offended. I'll still scratch her chin.
This is really random, but important to me. The store clerk He's in the scene with talking about the bear, like bears aren't real.
Yes.
So that actor,
Yes.
very specific. He's in 3 of the Air Bud movies and Snow Dogs.
He loves his dog movies.
He does.
Good for him.
Also, he's been in a lot of TV, and does that include an episode of 21 Jump Street? Of course it does.
Of course it does. Did Don Davis ever make it into an episode of 21 Jump Street?
I don't know who that
Don
is. I know
Davis,
that face.
he was the veterinarian. He was the vet guy who called in. He's in a lot of movies. He was in Twin Peaks. I know that. I know he was in
Twin
League
Peaks
of Their
is exactly
Own.
where I know him from. I don't recall. I'm not
I feel like he
picturing
must
him.
have at some point.
Maybe.
Could be wrong. I don't know. Because he's one of those actors that's in a lot of stuff growing up. There's a lot of stuff that I watched growing up at some point or another.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he played that kind of like bad guyish kind of mood character, like basically.
And the thing about him is he can talk to the log lady, so we trust him. More importantly, he can converse with the log itself.
I do.
And the whole alien thing and being in the woods, yeah, man.
I remember him, of course, from Needful Things. I'm going to relate it back to the Ed Harris movie. He played the Reverend in Needful Things. So that was something I
Needful Things. I thought you said Equal
Needful
Things.
Things.
I don't think I've heard of it. Yeah. Equal. Okay, Needful Things.
Needful Things. Also, actually, I do have another V connection for Don Davis. He was in Omen 4, The Awakening, which starred Faye Grant or Julie Parrish.
Yes.
So he was also in
that. It's been a long
film.
time since I've seen Omen 4.
We might have to do that as a review adjacent at some point. Maybe. What to say? I feel like we can watch
it's
that.
Interesting about being the devil's granddaughter.
Stretching things out because he needed to find things. I mean,
what was her name? Dahlia?
That sounds like it's. I mean, it sounds right, but it almost sounds too good to be right. It's like to actually be accurate to the film. You know what I mean? Like it feels like that would be a good name to choose, but like this film wasn't good enough to make it that good of a name.
That's literally I think I only remember the cover.
I vaguely remember seeing it, being very excited about it because of Julie, and then like never getting a chance. And then when I watch it, going, "Oh, I realize now why this was just a made-for-TV movie, pretty much." That's why I believe Omen 4 was made for TV. So, yeah. Let's see. Actually, here, let me see if I can find the name. I got this. I'm kind of curious now.
I kind of like Little Evil, the parody, a bit more.
Yes, you're right. That's a good call there. Delia. So see, Dahlia would have been better. Delia is kind of like the cheap ripoff, and Delia is the made-for-TV version of Dahlia.
Honestly, I think I like Damien. Like the Omen 2 better than the Omen.
Really? Oh, interesting. I did like Damien. I think Omen 3 is actually good too overall. Maybe because Sam Neill's.
There's just something about the Omen where I'm like, I almost said Gregory Peck. Wrong man. What is it?
No, it is Gregory Peck.
Oh, it is Gregory Peck.
Yeah, I was kind of confused. Yeah, it is Gregory Peck. Yeah.
I got confused. Okay, Gregory Peck. See, this is why I'm so like. Some people have face blindness. I just names. I'm not great.
Gotcha. I was confused if we were going because he is in the movie.
Gregory Peck. Yes. He's the bad guy in the movie.
I can see you going. I can already see you
like
going.
All you have to do is love that baby and raise him and make sure the cults leave him alone. You're wealthy. Just move out to a mountain and homeschool him. It's fine. That child is not inherently evil. I don't like the idea that he's inherently evil because of who his parents are. I don't like the it's the nature nurture debate or like the inheriting evil debate. Like I don't like that. I think it's a terrible message. Also, the thing about like movies like The Orphan, I'll never like, and like F those people for doing that. Why are you making a movie demonizing a child who has literally nothing? Like, do better. Demonize the biological children.
Fair. So
I think I'm giving Nathan Lane's character in the birdcage. I'm like, kill the mothers. That'll teach him.
Well, as always, it's an interesting tactic for you. I actually really enjoy The Omen, so I'm not gonna. But I don't.
I mean, it's like the movie's good, but the message is bad, and it's just something that I can't unsee like this.
I understand like the message is bad to a degree, but I kind of feel like
I think it's an easy fix. Just have him trying to protect his child from the cult. Make the cult like more proactive and have him trying to protect the child. And especially have the mom try to protect the child.
The mom's definitely off, and this one Lee Remick's off. But I also do love Patrick Troughton, and I have to throw out Dr. True in there and throw that out there. The second Doctor is in that as the priest. Okay, back to Watchers now. The only other thing that really made an impression on me, washing machine kills seem to be big in the 80s. Like, I mean, Halloween had the one, and then like there was on Friday. I keep remembering that, hearing that sound of the My Bloody Valentine had one.
My Bloody Valentine is what I was gonna say.
What I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I mean, going into the 90s, Halloween 6.
Halloween 6 had it too. Yeah, Curse of Michael Myers. That's the one that has that one. Yeah, I feel like that's just
going into the 2000s. Identity.
Oh yes. Isn't that Dean Koontz? Speaking of,
no,
I believe Identity is Dean Koontz.
I think he might have a book called it. No, I don't think he does. He has a book called Intensity.
That's the one I read, but I thought it was. Maybe
I don't think so.
Maybe I could be wrong. I thought that was. Maybe I'm thinking of Intensity as well. That could be what I'm thinking of. Oh, all right. I'm lying. I do that every once in a while. I'm misremembering. I should be more presidential. I'm misremembering. That I remember that. The sound design of this film also kind of went very hard. There's a lot. Actually, it reminded me of the V sound from you might not. I don't know if you remember it or not. There's a sound that when the Visitor was set on fire, in the final battle during I want to say it was the hospital. When Julie first rips John's mask off.
I'll take your word for it.
The Visitor gets put on fire. Donovan sets a grenade down. All of a sudden, the Visitor fire, and it has this like sound that kind of echoes through. I feel like they took that and used that in this for the Cellar Dweller. That's what I start calling him now because that's what it feels like, or the Oxcom rather. That
maybe
sounds
like certain kind of sounds that they had like recorded that they would recycle.
Feels like because it feel like it was like very very similar.
Or like everybody used. You've made Thunder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it all kind of sounds the same.
Yeah, that could be actually true. I did like the sound design overall, though. Kind of like I remember like watching it, being like, "There's a lot of stuff going on," and it almost goes like too hard for the film it's in. But it is you got to do what you got to do when you're part of a crew. When you're designing for a movie, you got to design like the best way you can. Sometimes you overshadow the actual production itself, and not showing the monster hardly at all. Good budget saver, I guess, but it feels like Jaws did it right and made it tense. This just felt. Sometimes it feels like it's good because it feels like it's a vibe. It feels like that's the tension they're going for, and sometimes it just feels like in this one, like it feels like it's just like they're saving money and they don't want to show us anything. There are times like I felt like it was just like when they broke out of the motel.
I don't think that's it. I think it was. I don't think it's oops, we're saving money. I think it's we did the best we could with the effects, but
they're not very good. Okay, so similar.
There's an expression for practical effects people that they like it in the dark. That we prefer shadows.
Right,
don't give us daylight.
Right. This is obviously one of those definitely would do that because the effects are not very, very good. Okay.
I think they did a pretty good job. I also think it, interestingly, in the book, people really don't see the monster that much either. The outsider.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
usually pretty obscured, but it's purposely trying to hide itself from view because again, it has this issue with it has like body dysmorphia.
Being ugly. He's so
So
ugly.
weird. But I mean, maybe if that was part of the story, in the film, as an explanation for why they aren't showing it, because it's purposely obscuring itself.
That would be good. I would like that actually. It just didn't feel that way. It just literally felt like exactly like what you're saying. Like it feels like we're gonna either we're cheaping out or we didn't do the very good job at this. So let's just kind of not show it and go with the Jaws route and try to do it that way. But it was an excuse. It felt like an excuse.
Can I just say I hate that you're calling it the Jaws route?
Well, I understand why, because Jaws did it. Well, let's be honest. Jaws also kind of did it for similar reasons overall, because the shark didn't look good. They didn't do they couldn't figure it out. But Steven Spielberg's a genius, and he can make it work and make that. He used the lack of monster.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to go on a rant. I'm dying inside. So I am on a journey to learn everything I possibly can about the history of cinema. I've read a lot of books. I've watched a lot of films. It's still a mission, still a journey. Mm-hmm. However, there are times when people give credit to people, and I'm just looking at them, and I'm like, you cannot possibly think this is the first time this has ever been fucking done. You are giving this person too much credit, and it bothers me on a deep-seated fundamental level. Do you think Kevin Williamson and Wes Craven invented meta? Mm-hmm. Like, what is happening here? There are people who literally think Steven Spielberg originated, like, showing the monster in a vague way. In 1975, you don't think people were doing that before 1975? That's nearly 90 years into cinema, guys. Come on. Stop giving him credit for this. I think he did a good job. Obviously, It's Jaws is one of the greatest movies ever made, but people have been doing that before then. Yes, he gets all the credit for it, but it just bothers me so much.
He did it well.
During the view of the monster. Other people did it well.
I don't know of them. Do you?
And okay, Jacques Tourneau's Cat People, and it wasn't because they couldn't get a working cat in 1942. It's because they literally couldn't get anything else other than an actual panther in 1942. So they showed shadows, and it's a phenomenal film.
Okay,
it's an excellent film.
Okay,
he didn't invent that either. Do you think people making movies in 1910 were making monsters? No, of course they were obscuring things. Come on, people. Read a book. But I think it bothers me more with Scream. Like when people were like, oh, they think they did that first to anything. Scream didn't do anything first. Scream did nothing first. Scream did not originate anything. They just did it on a bigger budget with a studio that put it into theaters on a wide scale and had money behind it. They didn't do anything first. Indies were doing this. Low budget movies were doing this. Sequels were doing this. They did nothing first. Rah!
It's about doing it well, I guess is what it is. It's about doing it well. There's a reason why they're known for it, though.
Hang on. I just don't understand how they're getting credit for like Mel Brooks exists. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Were people not making meta movies? Like, am I imagining this?
I don't know. How about in horror though? Potentially.
In horror?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Talk about horror movie fans in horror. There's nothing out there. Evil Laugh, Final Exam, which is even referenced by Randy in Scream 2. So we know they've seen that movie. Other horror movie, they got meta. Oh God, Friday the 13th.
Part 6.
6.
Jason Goes to Hell, or not Jason Goes to Hell. Oh God, Jesus.
Jason Lives.
Jason Lives. Thank you.
I can remember the vignette. I just can't remember which film it's in. But yeah, that definitely. I think they are. It's 5 and 6 both.
Yeah. 6 was definitely considered. 6 was definitely considered in the. There's no Scream without.
I'm specifically thinking of the couple in the VW who were
Yep.
like, I've seen enough horror movies to know when a man in a mask, blah, blah, blah.
I believe that I'm 99% sure that's in 6.
Okay. I'll take your
I
word
think
for
they're
it.
like- I could be wrong. They do sometimes blend together a little bit before.
So having a character
I
that
get
liked horror movies was not invented by Kevin Williamson. He just did it on a bigger budget. Did he do it better? I don't know. I fucking hate Randy. I couldn't tell you.
Oh my god, I hate you right now.
Well, maybe they didn't make him a little pervy boy. I'd be cool with him. He could have, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to make him Xander. They didn't have to do that. There's a puppy fan out there that gets me.
And there was a very popular person at the time. You gotta.
It could have been a girl. Could have been a girl that liked the horror movies. It could have been Tatum. We could have erased Randy.
I will not hear any more Randy slander on this
Okay,
show.
but then Rose McGowan could have been in the sequel, and that would have been better. And then Dewey losing a sister in the sequel would have been so much more heartbreaking because we didn't get a lot of them other than having the animosity relationship. It would have been much more hurtful and devastating when he actually liked his sister when he died or she died. I stand by what I'm saying.
You can stand by anything you want. You're wrong when it comes to Randy, but that's okay.
I don't know.
Randy was beloved, and when Randy got killed off in Scream 2, the whole franchise went down the shitter for a bit. So
I like 3. 4 is, I think 4 is when it started to go.
3, no, I can't go. I can't get on board with 3. I can't get on board with 3. It didn't. It lost the balance. It lost the humor.
It's silly,
horror
but
balance.
like
it
but
went
like
way too on the silly side of things for me.
The what the movie's discussing is very serious.
Yes, but like it doesn't. The way it doesn't do it very well at all. I don't think.
I don't know.
It's too silly.
It works for me.
That's fine.
Because I like camp.
I like camp too, but I don't like camp when it's out of nowhere. Like when it totally make a film that's camp and do your thing, but don't make a film that's camp.
Totally, it felt in sync. I believe these characters.
Disagree.
I think that it was obvious they should have postponed filming and waited till their lead could be in the movie.
Well, that's definitely high. Well, yes, I agree with you 100% on that as well. I just think that 1 and 2 were totally similar, even though totally 2 got fucked up by a lot of different things as well, and then tried to be too clever and once the ending got leaked, they tried to switch it up, and there's a whole, we don't know, but that's a whole thing that went down with 2. So I understand why 2 went to what it is, but tonally it fits. 3, it just seems like it went one way, and like here's like it has a nice little balance going on between the horror and the comedy aspect of it, and like 3 just went on the comedy side and totally like just threw it off for me. 4, I enjoyed parts of 4. I get why you don't love 4. I like it. I kind of liked it better the second time I saw it.
I don't dislike 4. It's just the definition of fine. It's just fine.
But I thought it captured the balance that I enjoyed from 1 and 2 much better.
And I still say Ghostface and that one should have been the survivor and killed Sid. That would have made the sequel so much more interesting. Because then we would have Ghostface be Ghostface, but the second Ghostface would think the first Ghostface was a survivor and an innocent victim when really, no, she's a baddie.
I do like that. I would like that a lot. I would have loved that a lot.
But 5 bothers me on a deep fundamental level because of the laziness. It's such a nitpick, but also I couldn't overlook it. When you reveal your Ghostface, you've seen the stunt man who's like a 6 foot tall dude. And you reveal your Ghostface as a 5'1" little girl. And I'm mad about it.
That's fair. No, that's actually a fair point.
Because it's so lazy. Like, they didn't care about the movie enough. Because when you look at, like, 2, they put thought into who was killing when and how that would look and how that should go. Like, how Randy went in the van, right? That we know which person was the Ghostface there, right? So it like they have put consideration as they should.
I agree with that. We're on the same page as far as that goes.
I have a deep-seated love of my guy, and they shouldn't have done him dirty like that. Especially when they're telling me a 5'1" girl did that. I'm half a foot taller than her. And David Arquette's taller than me. So what are we doing here? What are we
I
doing
think
here?
you would be a good Ghostface. I think you could actually do very well as
Oh, I'd be a
Ghostface.
great Ghostface. But also, I don't need to be Ghostface because, like, listen, that girl. I'm thinking I'm a very small person. She's tiny human being. If I open hand slapped that girl, I would knock her on her ass. And you're telling me David Arquette, wrestler David Arquette, couldn't? I'm so
Former
mad.
WCW champion David
Yes,
Arquette.
like if he's in death matches, like this dude is ripped. Like at least switch who the Ghostface is in that scenario.
But can't get past the fact now I want to pay to see you bitch slapping Ghostface. Can we get that to happen? If we can make that to happen, that we're covering for sure. You have no hope for Scream 7 then, do you?
I don't even remember 6. I definitely watched it. It was just I remember oh my god, Dermot
Mulroney.
Sure, that one. The guy from the rom-coms was in it. All the rom-coms. Name a rom-com. He was in it. Him, and it happened.
It was fine.
That movie happened.
It was fine. You said that. I said that was a definition of fine for me.
And did like 15 people survive that one?
There was a bunch. There's an interesting. They had an interesting. I know PJ has an interesting idea of what we could do next, like the cult of the Ghostface kind of thing, and like it was an interesting.
It's not going to be as good as Cult of Chucky.
Well, that would be Well, that of course, those are good. That's a film franchise that surprisingly, like I think that's so underrated. Like where it was and where it got to in its later years, where it's like actually so much better now than it was during its supposed heyday.
Dude, like Child's Play, good movie. Child's Play 2, great. 3, watchable.
Which one is that? The army one, the army base one.
Yeah,
I don't know. Watchable is a strong word for it, but I'll go. I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it.
But something about kids thinking they're playing with paintballs and just like killing each other is kind of funny. Come on. Come on. Chucky played the trick of a lifetime. What a prankster.
He's a silly guy, that guy.
But then you get Bride. And it's like, what? Dude.
That's what we should be doing. Bride. Yes, that's what it all seems like. This is what you do.
There are good points and bad points of Seed, but I overall really like Glenn Glenda.
Yep.
Same. I did not like Curse, but I don't know. Yeah, I did not like Curse, but I did like Cult.
I think I'm with you on that. They are blend again. They start to blend together at one point for me, but like Bride and Seed, I liked a lot. Okay, all right, yeah, that one I liked. Yeah, Curse was kind of, but.
And then I did like the first season of the show. I didn't continue with it.
I have not watched the second season either, and I don't know why I haven't. I think it just kind of like came and I didn't.
I know very specifically why I haven't. I do not like how it ended. So, slight spoiler, but I won't be detailed about it. I cannot deal with amputation, and if that's going to be part of the story, and because it's a main character, I'm out. Gross.
Oh, okay.
It just freaks me out.
Amusing that you have a gross out thing. Like you have a gross out like that.
Oh, I am very squeamish.
That's so weird to me. Like all the stuff that you watch, everything you watch, and you're squeamish about an amputation. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Learn new things every day.
I got a thing with chainsaws and car. Like I don't know, just like it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. We don't need to get to my sad, sordid past, but it's a whole thing.
Okay. I will. Okay. I will let you off the hook when it comes to that at this point. But let's rate this movie.
Everyone's got something.
I agree. Let's rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 11, because we always turn things up to 11 here on PLD Projects. So out of 1 to 11, what would you give this film? Are you ready now?
It gets a passing grade for sure.
Yeah, I'll give it a good sign.
It's definitely not like an A. It's not getting bonus points. No. I would say solid 6.5.
6.5 out of 11. Okay. I would
I
go
feel like maybe I
probably.
went too low.
No, I don't think you're too low. I think you're just about right. I think if anything, you're a little high. I would give it like maybe a 5.5 or 6. I think.
But I'm just thinking, can I give Sandy an 11?
You can give Sandy an 11. Yes.
The doggy gets an 11.
Okay, the doggy gets an 11. I'm okay with that. Michael Ironside for me gets an 8. The rest of the film,
I should
I'll give it
also
a
add
5.5.
he dies well on film.
Yes, he does. He does really die well on film. I will say the one downside of Michael Ironside's career is that it does seem like he does play variations of the same character. He is always kind of like the badass, and the line is he going to be the badass with no morals, or the badass who has some morals? Kind of
You know
thing.
what's really funny? Michael Ironside and Michael Madsen were in a singular movie together. Do you know that movie?
I feel like I should. I'm not. You're getting me on the spot. Michael Ironside
Should
and
I
Michael
tell you?
Madsen.
It's Free Willy. And Michael Madsen plays the nice adoptive father of the kid. And Michael Ironside, I don't even remember what he does. I think he's trying to steal the orca or something like
Makes
that.
sense. Okay. I am trying to think like what could they have been together, and that was not the movie that came to mind.
That might have been the only like children's movie Michael Ironside was in. His one chance to play a good guy, and Michael Madsen gets it.
I mean, Michael Ironside was not necessarily. I mean, well, his Top Gun role wasn't a bad guy. He was mostly good, I think.
I'll pretend I know he's in Top Gun.
He plays Jester. He's the like.
He followed her into the bathroom. I'm never getting over it. I'm supposed to like him. I'm supposed to like this lust man's. I hate it. I hate that movie. It is a good song though.
Which one?
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins one. Okay.
Danger Zone, I think.
Yeah, highway to the danger zone. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. There's got to be a Michael Ironside good role that I'm missing though. Good guy role.
He plays a nice guy in Nobody.
Okay.
He plays the narrator in A Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, you know what he is a good guy in? That's what I was thinking of. I just typed it up. He is Captain Hudson in Sequest DSV. You don't know Sequest? Okay.
I don't know what anything you just said. Is it a spinoff of Free Willy?
No, but it is like a.
Is it
I
a
mean,
spinoff of Flipper?
spinoff what?
Flipper?
Flipper? No, it was a. Actually, he replaced Roy Scheider as the general. It was like a near future sci-fi underwater kind of. I don't know how
You're
you
using a lot of
describe
words, PLD.
It was like really near future. Jonathan
So are
Brandis
they in
was in there.
Atlantis?
No, they're they basically they were like they were this like big deep subvergence vehicle. That's what DSV stood for, deep subvergence vehicle. And they were in like this organization, like was like the United Earth Oceans Organization. It was like this global conglomeration of stuff, and they're looking for natural resources and stuff because it was like near future. So we're trying to save the world. Kind of, it was a thing. It was a thing. He had to be there, I guess. It was not great, but it wasn't bad either. Maybe like 4 seasons, I think, or 3 or 4 seasons, maybe. I know Roy Scheider played the captain in the first 2, and then Michael Ironside took over for the.
It's a weird recast.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of a strange recast. That's it. I guess technically speaking, he also a good military guy in X-Men First Class, briefly. But I mean, Starship Troopers.
I don't remember him being in that.
He was on the plane when they were gonna nuke everybody at one point. Starship Troopers, badass, good guy. But that's more the badass good guy. That's the Ham Tyler type of role.
I think I remember him being in that either.
In Starship Troopers? You don't remember him? He was the bad guy general. Not bad guy. He was like their badass leading general. He's the one that like when they were having sex on the camp and in the tent.
I saw the movie once in high school.
Oh, okay, all right. I think you would actually like that film. That's actually a very good film. It's a very fun.
It's Werner Herzog.
It's no, it's God, what's his name? Guy who did
What am I thinking of?
I don't know. I know it makes sense. It's who did that film? Who directed the film? I guess Paul Verhoeven. That's what it is. Paul Verhoeven.
Paul Verhoeven. I do get those two confused.
Yes, that's why I when you said Werner Herzog, it actually made me forget Paul Verhoeven's name. Like that does make sense what you're saying. No,
yeah,
it
does. I get it. I get my confusion. There are times where I'm like, I don't know how I messed that up, and there are times where I'm like, yeah, I follow my backwards logic on that one.
100%, I could see you doing that as well. But all right, the one bad movie I will mention, Michael Ironside, which we will never cover because I hate it so much. Well, hate the strong.
Okay, I'm so curious.
Him in the next Karate Kid.
I've not seen any of them.
You probably hate them, actually. You probably hate them. I think you'd find them misogynistic, probably. I'm going to guess. You'd find them very misogynistic, like the 80s, especially the early 80s ones, I'm thinking. Even the next Karate Kid, which has Hilary Swank as in the leading role. But it's so bizarre, like...
I am curious because, like, I know the plot. It's pretty, like, culturally ubiquitous.
Yes.
So I'm like partially curious about like would I like the main character because I feel like I'd feel bad for the blonde guy who got the show.
You probably would. You probably would. Because
Like,
he
sometimes
has
when
a bad backstory. There's a backstory that like you makes him understandable. And Daniel Ralph Macchio in the first film is kind of a punk. I'm not gonna lie. He's kind of like I don't feel sorry for him because he's kind of a jerk, honestly. Looking back, but because it's so ingrained in my brain, like when as a kid, I still love it because I grew up with it, kind of thing.
like
I love that.
I love watching a movie that tries to frame a main character as the good guy, but you're like, I don't know, guys. Are we supposed to like John Cusack in High Fidelity?
He's kind of a prick. You're right. I do love that movie too, but he's definitely he is definitely a prick. But I love Jack Black in that.
Like, are we supposed to like Elle Woods? Because she did literally stalk this guy. I'm on Vivian's side. Now, I'm not, and as someone from Southern California, like who lives on the East Coast, I get it. I get it. People here don't like us, but like, you can't stalk people. Come on. And the Harvard accepted her as a diversity hire? No. That should have gone to somebody else. No. Oh, a wealthy white woman. No. No.
But is it not a little realistic that they would call that a diversity thing?
No, because they do have so for people who don't know this, when it comes to like that kind of thing, they actually do get audited. Yeah. And they have to like show that they have certain percentage fulfilled, like a certain percentage fulfillment. So
probably not anymore.
Generally they take that stuff pretty seriously. So they can't just say this person is not like our typical applicants. Like they have to, that's why they have those like questionnaires like, are you XYZ? Like
Z, right. That's fair. All right. Well, you said I'm gonna give it a 6. You're gonna 6.5. I'll give it a 6. I think I'm being a little generous with my 6. I think, but Sandy, we both agree, is an 11, and I'm happy leaving it at that.
He is so cute.
He's very cute. He's very adorable, and I still will slap Corey Haim for giving him chocolate because that could hurt him. That's what my mom says.
I wonder what they actually gave him.
It's a good question. That's a good question. You don't really see it very well.
I don't follow him, but there's this guy on Instagram who makes like fake or like not fake food, but food that and also like other stuff that looks like things that they could use as movie props and stuff like that. It's very fun to watch.
Fair.
Like how they do like you could have someone like cooking at a grill, but not actually cooking at a grill. And
Right.
it's cool the way they do that.
It's always fascinating. I mean, like watching stuff like that all the time. Like back in the day, like they show like how do they make these food look good for commercials? And you're like, it's like, oh, that's disgusting. How they look at that, like the burgers, like for fast food commercials and stuff that aren't really burgers, and it's weird. But
I just
seen
remember in cereal commercials, it's glue.
Yeah. It's gross. It's gross. Poor people. All right, Lego. Where can the folks find you?
I could be found. Where can I be found? I could be found at the Unhinged Bin on Instagram. That's typically where I post stuff. I do have YouTube. Where can they find me? Lego Rants, and that's where I can be found.
Okay. You can find me all over social media, Paul_Denuzio on the old Twitter and on Blue Sky as well. You can find me all over this channel. PJ and I doing a show called Two Middle-Aged Geeks on Film. Every week we are in our Men in Black. Every other week, I should say, Men in Black and Ghostbusters phase. About to cover Men in Black.
You didn't do Casper.
I know.
Casper has such an interesting question, though. Is Dr. Harvey a con artist?
You know what? That is a question we have not. Maybe we'll have to bring that back. Maybe we'll make that a question on here somehow. Because I would love to hear your 500-page essay on why he is or is not a con artist.
It's lengthy, but it's not 500 pages.
You're slipping. That's all. You're slipping.
I try to be condensed. It's I just want to make sure that I'm getting my point across. And sometimes it's wordy.
It can be. And that's why we love you, because you're definitely thorough. If nothing else, you're thorough. So
it's an interesting way to insult me.
I'm trying to praise you.
But your tone says otherwise.
I think you're reading into my tone. I am toneless. I am toneless right now. I am no tone. Anyway, Two Middle-Aged Geeks on Film every other week on our Patreon. We are doing the MCU rewatch. We are doing Doctor Strange next for that. If you want to join the Patreon, then patreon.com/PLD Projects. If you can't, I get it. I understand. Share this, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I also do a Star Wars podcast every week as well. Me and Maddie Gunn are doing Holy Snokes, just doing a news episode this week. Is it this week? I think it might be this week. I got to figure out if it's this week or next week. I'll figure it out off air. And my Queen podcast is every week. As always, I'm doing that. And I think that's it. Next time here, we will dive into Watchers 2, starring Mike Donovan, Mark Singer in the leading role. And it feels like what you're telling me from the book. I don't know. I don't remember. Again, I saw this way back in the day.
He's basically like more like the original character.
Because when you say that, when you describe that character, it goes, yeah, that sounds like what Mark Singer would have done. So we'll have to see. Maybe Watchers 2 is maybe closer to the book. Maybe that's what it is. They decided, we didn't actually do the book for the first film. We'll do
It's closer to the book. They pretty much adapted the book for the second one.
Well, then we'll talk about that next time here. We will get into the books and the comic books, go back to V eventually. We also had some other review adjacent stuff. We had ideas for at one point. I know I wrote down we were going to cover the Incredible Hulk pilot, at least because Kenneth Johnson directed that. And come up with some stuff that you want to see us cover too. I'll throw some things in the comments that you think would be worthy of review adjacent. And again, that's usually either something that was inspired by V or inspired V or involved somebody from, we'll say the original, not the 2009 version, the original in some way, whether it be Mark Singer, Michael Ironside, Faye Grant, Robert Englund, or Kenneth Johnson, anybody like that. We could do Jane Badler, anything like that we could do. We could technically stretch it out and do June Chadwick, who plays Lydia, was in Spinal Tap. We could do that maybe, but
I'm just saying, Fright Night 2 has your favorite Anne Blair Tefkin.
I will do that for you. I would do that for you. I would do Fright Night 2 for you.
Fright Night 2 is such a fun movie.
I honestly don't remember if I've seen that one or not. I honestly don't. I know I've seen the original many times, but I don't know if I ever went on to see the sequel. So I wouldn't mind checking it out for that.
But here's the thing about Fright Night 2. You want to know the important thing about Fright Night 2?
What's that?
That theme goes hard. That score?
Hard, huh? I love it.
It's Spinal Tap. 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10. All right, guys. We will see you next time here on Review. Great day now, everybody.